Hi, it's me, Russ Palmer. I'm chatting to John Edwards, chairman of Walney Musical Theatre Company. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, not so bad. Kind of plodding on. I'm back at work now. Desperately need a haircut like everybody else. But other than that, I'm all right.
I'm just thinner on top than you. Yeah, you're back at work. You work at the Entertainer, don't you?
Yeah. So we opened last Monday now. I've been in for about 6 weeks now, but it's been really good to get back and have a bit of normality and a bit of routine and things. Yeah, it's going really well. Yeah.
So no problems with the public because I mean, social distancing has dropped over the weekend, hasn't it?
Yeah. So as from at the moment, we can have 10 people in our shop at any one time, and as from Monday, we have 15. So it's not much of a difference for us. But the public have been great. Everybody knows that you've got to queue for a little bit longer to get in places. Yeah, they've been great.
Yeah. Now, going to the main subject, of course, we're here. I don't know whether you heard the interview with Martin last week, but getting amateur theatre, getting theatre in general back up and running. The first obstacle, of course, and you as an MD and sort of quite musical will probably see this problem more than myself, that even getting into rehearsals at the moment is a little bit difficult because, of course, singing is considered high risk for contracting COVID-19.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of players have started rehearsing this week because you can socially distance rehearse now. So I know Ian McKellen's doing Hamlet, but to sing, you're not allowed to sing. You can go and see, you can't rehearse a musical. And I think a lot of people are using Zoom and stuff like that. I don't think it would work for me. I think to rehearse a show, particularly a musical, you need to all be in a room together, and you need your director there, and you need your MD there. I don't see it working online really. So, yeah, it's an issue.
So really, we can't. I mean, Walney had the next 12 months planned out to perfection. David would be turning in his grave, wouldn't he? All this organisation, mate.
I know. Well, it's the first time in a long time that we've had them all lined up, and we had Sunset Boulevard that we had to push back, Kinky Boots this November, and we had Elf for next year. So it's 3 that have been a knock-on effect to have to shove on.
Yeah. How have you gone on rights-wise? Have the rights holders been pretty fair when you've had to postpone?
Yeah, they've been brilliant. I think we were the first ones in Barrow to postpone this year, and they were absolutely fantastic. We just rang and straight away they offered it for the year after. We were holding off with Kinky Boots, with it not being until November. But the problem we've got with it being a new release, even if Boris Johnson comes out tomorrow and says in November you can stage whatever you like, we couldn't do Kinky Boots because the set and the costumes that were being created over the last 4 months haven't been being made.
Right.
With it being a new show. So there's a lot of logistical things like that.
Exactly. Talking of logistical things, I mean, even in the future, if you do get a show on, I mean, excuse my ignorance because it's a while since I've been involved with that sort of thing, but do rights holders charge per audience or do they charge a set fee? I'm only wondering from the prospect of our audience will have to be socially distanced in the future, so you would get a lesser audience into the theatre. That's where I'm coming from. Yeah,
usually you pay a kind of a blanket number per night, unless your ticket sales are particularly high, and then you pay a percentage of that. So usually it's a percentage of your ticket sales. Yeah. But the problem is it's capacity. A lot of people in Barrow don't know that the majority of the shows at Forum cost upward of £20,000 now.
They do.
So without decent capacity, you can't stage a show the way we're used to. So I think a lot of us will have to look at the way we stage shows now. We simply cannot afford these big lavish £4,000 sets and £3,000 worth of costume. We're going to have to live within our means if we have to have a socially distanced audience.
Yeah, because I'm thinking both the Forum and the Coro, you would probably get away with cabaret seating. That's the only way you could perform.
Yeah, you absolutely could. And, if you had a certain bubble sat around a table and one social group at another table, that's the only way I can think of doing it. But I don't know. It depends what audiences are kind of comfortable with. And for me, there's 3 things: your cast and your audience have to be safe. Your capacity has to be right, and it has to be viable. And a lot of it is financial viability. You couldn't do a great big flash show on cabaret seating because it wouldn't balance.
No, totally agree. And of course, I think I've said before, families have lost income over the last 3 or 4 months. So a treat to the theatre is not going to be high on the list of priorities as much as they would want to come.
Yeah, it's a non-essential thing. And I think I'm in two minds. I think when the theatres open, I think people will be very reluctant. But at the same time, I think a lot of people will maybe need that bit of a break and that, but you're completely right. Money is tight for a lot of people at the moment. So particularly with a family going for a night out, it's, 4 people at £12 a ticket. It's not cheap.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can see online plays, you know what I mean? Sort of producing a play and then producing it online and things like that. I'm not quite sure how it would go. You couldn't do a full-blown musical, probably a couple of solos on stage.
Yeah, I don't think so. You could maybe do a concert, but I don't see musicals working. But I think what we all need to try and do, I think the problem we'll have is if, particularly in amateur theatre, is if they announce that from September theatres under a certain capacity can open. The trouble we'll have is nobody's got anything ready because we haven't been able to rehearse. So I think people perhaps need to be a bit imaginative, whether we can't do shows, but whether it's concerts or fundraisers or whatever, that there's stuff going on in the background perhaps now, so that when finally theatres can reopen, there's actually something to put on stage. Because otherwise, once they open, you've got to start rehearsing and then it's another few months.
So of the Forum or I know the Coronation Hall are not taking bookings for the rest of the year at the moment. That may change. Have you had any communication from Forum?
I haven't since lockdown. From what I heard, Forum, and I could be wrong, from what I heard, Forum were still taking bookings for this year, for late in the year.
Right.
I think you'll be lucky if anything's on there before the Panto, if the Panto happens. I know the Culture Secretary was with Andrew Lloyd Webber at the Palladium today, and they've been talking about social distancing, but it's all stuff for huge theatres that Forum couldn't possibly afford, or technological stuff.
Yeah, so from a Walney musical theatre point of view, have you been holding society meetings via Zoom, or have you got anything planned?
Yeah, we've had a couple of catch-ups on Zoom. We've got our AGM shortly, which is going to have to be over Zoom. It's all very strange. Yeah. But it's nice. What would we do without it? It's such a good way of keeping in touch with people, and it's just a shame that we can't all get together properly and have a sing.
It has. It's very, very frustrating. As you know, I normally get a guest in choosing the 5 favourite tunes, but of course that's out the window at the moment. But hopefully we're going to get that back up and running. Now I've discovered how to use Zoom. Yeah. So in your opinion, I think we're both on the same book. I would be very surprised if anything would go on this side of this year, amateur-wise.
Yeah, I'm in two minds. I think you may see concerts and you may see fundraisers. You certainly won't see a show. But I know the juniors have still got their week booked, and I know we still got our week booked.
Right.
Whether anything comes from either of those things, I don't know. But I think it would be nice if, like you say, with cabaret seating or something, if something of some nature could happen. I don't know how much. I believe it will, but I live in hope. I'm trying my best to be optimistic.
Exactly. Well, mate, it's really good to chat to you. Thank you so much. And I wish you and Walney Musical Theatre Company all the very best. And let's hope we're reviewing the situation. No, that's Oliver. Plug there for Ulverston's Oliver. We can't do that either because it's not available next year.
Oh, goodness me.
No, we're going to do it this year, but it's not available. So Ulverston are going to have a rethink as well. But as I say, I wish you all the very best. Nice to chat to you, mate. See, you've got your piano and everything
I have.
In the background. Yeah. The neighbour's still talking to you?
Yeah, well, just about. They've just sold the house, actually. I hope it wasn't because of me.
Lovely talking to you, mate, and take care.
All right, you too.